this is like an epic fail.
Hey, I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Not every trip to the mountains is perfect. If you go somewhere a lot, and I mean anywhere, chances are you're going to have a negative experience. Or at the very least, the visit isn't going to live up to your expectations. Normally in our videos, we talk about the very best of wherever we're visiting. This is Great Smoky Mountain National Park, the most visited national park in the United States. Over 10 million people visit the Smokies per year, and that number is probably a little higher. Even now, in February, traffic on this mountain road is very busy to say the least. We're just outside Gatlinburg on a quick excursion. You know, over half the U.S. lives within a day's drive from the Smoky Mountains. To say the Smokies are a popular destination is an understatement. These are some of the oldest mountains in the world, and fast-flowing creeks and rivers are numerous. Everything here is breathtaking. This is an amazing road, but it's not where I want to be. I want to be on 441, another scenic mountain highway connecting Gatlinburg, Tennessee to Cherokee, North Carolina. 441 is a lot like the Blue Ridge Parkway. In fact, you access the southern entrance point to the Blue Ridge Parkway from 441 in Cherokee. My original plan was to make an informative video about this stretch of 441, but the weather didn't cooperate.
Driving through Pigeon Forge is never easy. I mean, it could be in the middle of the dead season where nobody is on vacation, and driving through Pigeon Forge is still maddening. Carol and I are on our way to Gatlinburg. We're actually here in Pigeon Forge right now for a conference. It's going to be a great conference. I'm excited, but we got to get some video time in too, and the weather's not really great. We drove through a blizzard to get to Pigeon Forge, only to get to Pigeon Forge where you think snow because of the Christmas lights and all that kind of stuff, but the snow was gone. There's no snow here, it's just rain. Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, you know, they've always had like this Christmassy kind of thing going on around Christmas. But now, you know, the lights, well, they kind of stay up all year. I mean, yeah, they change colors and there's not as many throughout the year, but still, it's kind of turned into like the Las Vegas of the mountains. Prove me wrong, just prove me wrong. Smoky Mountain National Park, the smokiest mountainous national park there is. And that's a fact. You can look that up. Smoky. It's very smoky. It's not that kind of smoky. Foggy that looks different than other mountain chains in Appalachia.
Having discovered that 441 was closed due to ice and snow, and desperate not to waste the precious time we had to make a video, we continued down Fighting Creek Gap Road onto Little River Gorge Road, a road that's named after, you guessed it, the Little River. This is how you get to one of the most popular destinations in Great Smoky Mountain National Park from Gatlinburg, Cades Cove. Little River Road actually dead ends at Cades Cove, and that's where we're heading. We had just enough time for a fast loop around the cove and get back to the conference. Along Little River Scenic Drive, you run into the Sinks area of the Smoky Mountains, one of the many popular pull-offs. Obviously, it's beautiful, and in my opinion, this is the best time of year to visit the Sinks. It's Mother Nature at its finest, but Mother Nature had some help in the form of dynamite. Back in the late 1800s, the logging industry in this region was contributing to the population explosion and expansion of the U.S. Logs were floated down the river to a sawmill about 20 miles downriver. One year there was a flood, making the river wild and crazy, and yet logs continued down the river. After all, there was money to be made. Days later, the flood waters began to recede and left timbers firmly stuck in the bend in the river. The loggers used dynamite to blast a 30-foot chasm into the river, creating the Sinks. Regardless, it's an amazing stop along the way. It's about 30 minutes outside of Gatlinburg, and it's worth your time. And yes, in the summer you can swim here, but I don't recommend it. It's pretty dangerous. Now it was time to head to Cades Cove and no time to spare. But our engine started to overheat. Yes, you're hearing me right. In the middle of winter, the truck was overheating. We couldn't take any chances. We had to turn around. I couldn't believe it. No 441 and no Cades Cove. Back to Gatlinburg and the nearest auto parts store to begin troubleshooting. .441 is one of the most amazing Appalachian mountain roads. Cades Cove is amazing and it's a family favorite, but things don't always go amazingly. While making videos for this channel, we've had our fair share of flat tires, engine problems, bad weather, and the list goes on and on. It's life. So our excursion was over, but thousands of tourists from all over the country were having an amazing time strolling the streets of Gatlinburg. And that's life too. And honestly, it wasn't too bad for us. We managed to make it to our favorite Gatlinburg destination.
So excited to be here. Insert sarcasm.